My name is Charles, and I'm on track to retire before I turn 30 years old. And the reason that I'm able to do that is because first, I save as much money as I possibly can, and then, this is really important, I invest all of those savings. But here's the problem. According to research by Gallup, around 40% of people are not investing. And the truth is that you will never be financially free until you start investing. So in this video, I want to walk you through step by step how to get started investing in order to retire early. And along the way, I'll explain how investing works, why it's so important, and my own extremely simple investment strategy that will probably make me a millionaire before I turn 30 years old. And if you aren't investing now and you don't know how investing works, then don't feel bad. For some reason, this is just something that is not usually taught in schools, and a lot of the lessons that I'll share in this video are things that I didn't even learn until I studied finance in college. So let me start with how investing works in theory, just to make sure that everything else that I talk about in this video is going to make sense. And at a really high level, investing just means that you're buying a part of an asset, and that asset can be anything. It can be a house if you're investing in real estate, or it can be a company if you're investing in the stock market. For this video, I'm mostly going to focus on the stock market. The US stock market is really just a few thousand companies. These are generally very large companies, and many of them are international. And you can invest in them by buying their shares on the stock market, which could be the New York Stock Exchange or on NASDAQ. In practice, you'll probably go through a broker, so you don't actually have to interface directly with the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, but your investment company probably does. A lot of the same principles apply to something like real estate, but that's a very different game and much harder to get started investing in. So focusing on the stock market, the first thing we need to talk about is why the stock market even exists in the first place. And really, the stock market exists so that companies can raise money in order to grow. What happens is when a company wants to scale, they can go public and start being publicly traded on the stock market. And this is really important to understand. When a company is going public, it is trying to raise money. What this means is that the existing owners of the company are not necessarily selling any part of the company. Instead, they're just raising new capital in order to fund expansion. So for example, let's say a $100 million company had just one owner. If that company went public and doubled in value, so now it's worth $200 million, that original owner would still own $100 million worth of that company. But that would now only be 50% of the company's ownership. They didn't lose any money, but they did lose control. The new investors who invested in that company as it went public now own about 50% of the company. Now, after a company goes public, its investors are free to sell their shares whenever they want to. And actually, this is the vast majority of the activity on the stock market. People buy and sell ownership of companies depending on which companies they think will go up and which companies they think are overpriced. So really, all of the trading on the market is really just people trying to decide what a fair price for a company is. And now, before I move on and explain why investing is so important, give me just a second to explain some terminology. When people invest in a company's stock, they are buying shares of that company. The share price is what you will see if you Google a company. And share prices can really be anything. They can be just a few dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars. The share price by itself doesn't actually tell you that much. The real value of a company depends on the share price and the number of shares which are publicly traded and what percentage of the company is publicly traded. So if the share price is $10 and there are 1 million publicly traded shares, then the publicly traded value of that company, otherwise known as the market cap, is $10 million. But the actual value of the company could be worth a lot more than that. Remember, not the entire company's value is publicly traded. But okay, now that you understand how investing works, I need to explain why investing is so important. And the reason that investing matters so much is because it is the only truly passive way to make money. With investing, you are buying part of a real company. And companies will hopefully do what companies do best, which is grow and become more valuable. And of course, some companies will end up going bankrupt, but other companies will become immensely valuable. And when you look at the stock market as a whole, the average stock usually goes up by about 7% per year, even after adjusting for inflation. But again, this really varies. Some companies go up by a ton, but are very unpredictable. Other companies only go up by a little, but are very stable. But even assuming that 7% rate of return, this is why investing can make you far wealthier than any amount of money that you could have saved from your regular day job, even though investing doesn't require any of that hard work. Because let's say that you save $1,000 a month for every month of your entire career. After 50 years, you'd only have saved $600,000. But if you had invested that money at a 7% rate of return, then you would have over $5 million. And since investing doesn't require any hard work on your end, you can keep investing even after you retire. Invest that $5 million for another 30 years of retirement, and that $5 million would turn into $38 million even though you stopped saving any more money. If you take this seriously, you could become a decamillionaire without ever saving that much money in the first place. So I'm definitely using the power of investing to reach financial freedom faster. I've already made tens of thousands of dollars from my investments, and that number will only go up. But the real power of investing is what happens after you're financially free. Since investing is so passive, you can keep making money even after you've quit your job. And the gains from those investment earnings are what you're going to use to offset your expenses in retirement. And plus, since the stock market generally keeps up with inflation, you don't have to worry about your wealth becoming less and less valuable as inflation chips away at its buying power. So this is why investing is so important. If you don't invest, then your wealth will run out eventually. But if you do invest, you can become even richer in retirement. But now that you know how investing works and why it's so important, let me walk you through step by step how to start investing yourself. And I also created a complete step-by-step guide, which I linked in the video description, that will walk you through the exact same steps. There are a ton of investment companies that you can use, but two that I have personally used are Vanguard and Fidelity. Both of these have super low cost investment options, which I'll talk about in a second. But just so you know, I do not make any money from any of these companies in any way, shape, or form. I kind of wish I did, but I don't. And again, there are probably tons of other companies which are also fine, but I haven't used them, so I don't want to recommend anything that I haven't personally used. Alright, so I'm going to use Vanguard as an example for this, but a lot of companies will probably have a very similar process. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on Personal Investors right here. Then, once you're on the Personal Investors tab, you're going to go to Open an Account. And again, if you don't already have an account, you probably want to click on this option over here to open an investment account. So I'm going to click Get Started. Now, you'll probably fund your investment account with money in your bank account, so that's what I'm going to select here. Then I'm going to click Continue right in the top right. Now, personally, I manage all of my own money. So, of course, you can pay a lot more money and have somebody else help you manage your investments, but you can also do it a lot cheaper on your own. And it's really not that complex, at least for what we're going to do right now, so I'm going to click this Invest on My Own option. Okay, so here we're going to get an overview of what's going to happen next. So, first, we're going to have to select an account type that's going to hold all of our investments. We're going to have to give it all the personal information so we can create a login and create our account. And then we're going to have to add our bank account to fund money, transfer money into our investment account, and actually get started. So that makes sense. Shouldn't take too long, pretty easy process though. So let's move on to select your account. Okay, so now we've got a few different options that we can choose from to open an account. So these first couple options I'm looking at are cash accounts. Those really aren't investment accounts, so I'm going to ignore those right now. Then we have our traditional individual retirement account and a Roth individual retirement account. I have a Roth individual retirement account, personally, a Roth IRA, but what we're really looking for right now is this individual brokerage account over here. The reason I like an individual brokerage account for right now is there's really no restrictions on what you can do with this money. You can invest at any time, you can invest any amount of money, and you can withdraw your money at any time. The retirement accounts are great, but they have some other complications that I don't want to get into right now. So I really think that just about anybody should have a personal brokerage account, so that's what we're going to select here. And once I do that, I think it's going to prompt me for my information. Yep, it's going to prompt me for some of my personal information. So I'm going to stop here, but the rest of this process is really straightforward. First, they really just need to verify who you are, and you might have to use a photo ID, like a driver's license or something like that, and give a picture of it so they can verify who you actually are. But then from there, I think the last thing you're going to have to do is just to connect your bank account. This is a really easy process and it should walk you through exactly what to do. But basically, to connect your bank account to your investment account, you'll need two numbers from your bank. And one of those is going to be your actual account number, the actual account that you want to transfer money over from. And the other is going to be the routing number for your bank. Every bank is a little different about where they put that routing number, but it should be pretty easy to find. And once you connect your bank account, what they'll probably do is send like $1 into your bank account and then withdraw it, just to make sure that they have your bank account, and you'll just enter the amounts they sent just to confirm that that is your bank account. It's really easy and they'll walk you through the whole process. And once you have your bank connected, you can take money from your bank account and deposit it directly into your investment account so that it's ready to invest. But once you've created your account, you're probably going to see something that looks kind of like this. I switched over to Fidelity here, which is where I keep my Roth IRA and my 401k. So all of my retirement accounts are with Fidelity right now. And so I already have a lot of money invested in this account, which is why you can see this. I've been investing with Fidelity for a couple of years now. But if you don't have any money in your account yet, you just created an account, then you won't see any of that. But what you're going to want to do is if you haven't transferred any money into your account yet, then you're going to want to go up to this Trade and Transact button up here, click down, and if you want to transfer money into your account, you want to look for this transfer button. Once you click that button, you should see a few different options. Here you probably want EFT to or from a bank. So that's an electronic funds transfer. This is how you're going to electronically deposit money from your bank account to your investment account. So I'm going to select that. And here we go. We can choose where we want to transfer money from, which, I can select any of my retirement accounts, or I can select my actual bank account. And then I can select where I want that money to go to. And here I can select my Roth IRA to deposit money into my Roth IRA. I can decide whether this is one time or whether it's a recurring deposit. I can set it to happen on a different date than today. And of course, I can specify a certain amount. So here, since this is a Roth IRA, I can only contribute $7,000 per year. I haven't contributed any money this year, so I have this limit, this 2025 contribution limit of $7,000. Now, generally, I actually really like recurring deposits because it just makes sure that you never forget to go save your money. If you do a one-time deposit, sometimes you have to remember when you've made more money to then go deposit that money into your investment account and get that money working for you. But if you do a recurring deposit, you just make sure that money is always getting transferred over no matter what. I also think this makes it way easier to be frugal and have good spending habits because that money isn't going to just sit around in your bank account waiting for you to spend it, right? It'll get automatically sent over to your investment account before you have a chance to spend it. But assuming you haven't set that up, let me show you how you can invest in one of these accounts. So we're back on the home screen here. I didn't want to transfer any money into my Roth IRA today. Again, I'm going to go up, click Trade and Transact. And now if I want to choose how my money gets invested, I want to select on the Trade button. So from here, you have to select which account you want to invest in. So here I've selected my Roth IRA account, which is my only account which I have some spare money in, although not a lot. From there, I'm going to select which stock I want to invest in. So here it's showing up a few different options, and I'm going to select VTI, which is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund ETF. So basically what that means is that this is not an individual stock. Instead, this is the entire stock market. So this is a fund that kind of tracks every single company adjusted for how big that company is in the entire US stock market. And you can see here the share price for VTI is $278 right now. So once I've selected that symbol, I can select whether I want to buy or sell. So if I want to invest, I want to buy. And then here, you can select how many shares you want to buy. So again, the share price is right up here, and you can select how many of those you want to buy. What you can also do is select dollars and just put in how many dollars of VTI you want to buy, rather than calculating how many shares you want to buy. So I'm just going to put in one share right now just as an example, but you could do anything that you want. And here, I'm going to set up a market order. So what a market order means is that this trade will happen at the next available price. So basically, whatever the next price of VTI is, if I have the money to buy it, I'll be buying one share right now. Now, instead of doing a market order, you can also do a limit order over here. So what a limit order is you can put in the maximum price that you want to pay for a share. And so here for one share, right now it's going for $278. I might say, you know what, I only want to buy those shares if they drop under $270. So you can put in a limit and say only buy these shares if they drop under that price. Now, I very rarely do that. I just do a market order because you know that that trade will execute since it's just going to happen at the next available price. So I'll leave that there for right now. So right now I'm saying just one share of VTI, that's going for $278. So my estimated value is $278. If I put in 5 shares instead, then the estimated value is going to be, 5 times the share price. Now, I don't have any money to invest in this account right now, again, so I'm just going to cancel this order. But all you have to do is click preview order, confirm it, and you'll be good to go. You will have invested your money. So now that you know how to set up your account and get started investing, let's talk about what you should actually be investing in. And I am not an investment advisor, so what I'm going to do is explain my own personal investment strategy and why I use this strategy myself in order to retire early. And basically, instead of putting my money into individual companies, I put all of my money into index funds or exchange traded funds which track the market, like the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund that I was showing earlier, VTI. There are a few reasons that I use this investment approach. And the first is that it is super cheap. Since you aren't paying for an investment manager, the fees on investing in these types of funds are extremely low, like 0.03%. Second, investing in a large market tracking index fund reduces a lot of risk. Investing in a fund like VTI means that you're invested in every publicly traded company. So imagine if you had invested in every company except Nvidia. You would have lost out on tons and tons of money just by leaving out that one single company. But by investing in a fund like VTI, you make sure that whenever there's a big winner, you're invested in them. And that means that as long as the stock market goes up, which it usually does, then you're going to profit from it. And third, even though this investment approach is extremely simple, it actually beats the vast majority of investors. There's been a lot of research into this, and over 90% of professional market managers have failed to beat the stock market over the long run. So to me, investing in a market tracking index fund is sort of a no-brainer. And hey, if you would like a full video on my investment approach in order to retire early, then let me know in the comments and maybe I'll make that one day. So you now understand how investing works, why it's so important, and how to get started yourself. So now, just to close things out, I want to briefly explain why I expect to be a millionaire before I turn 30 years old. When I turned 25 years old, I had over $250,000. I've explained how I did that in other videos, but basically, I make about $100,000 after tax, I live on less than minimum wage, and I take all of those savings and invest them in the stock market. The stock market has been a little more up and down this year, but it was very good for the first couple years of my career. And between now and when I turn 30 years old, I'm trying to average saving about $8,500 per month. I'm definitely saving a little less than that right now, but I'm hoping as I earn more money, I'll save even more than that in the future. So I think that's about what it will average out to. So with $250,000 invested and $8,500 invested every month, with a 10% rate of return, that turns into over $1 million by the time I turn 30 years old. So taking the time to start investing is literally one of the most life-changing things you can possibly do, and it only takes about 10 minutes. So the most important thing you can do is just start. Open an account, transfer some money into it, and just get started investing. But after you do that, you need to watch this video right here, where I explain some more advanced strategies to reduce risk and minimize your tax bill.